Senior Citizens Forum, and I'm Janice Wood, your host. And a Senior Citizens Forum is being sponsored by Benefits for You 2 Insurance Services, where they specialize in Medicare Advantage plan, Medicare supplemental plans, and Medicare prescription drug plans. Medicare is for people that are 65 and older, and for people that are under the age of 65 that have certain qualifying disabilities. But today we're going to be talking with my guest, Kayla Barrow.
Hi.
Correct? She's a newlywed.
Yes, you are too.
Well, yeah.
Two newlyweds today.
Two newlyweds, yeah.
I have to get used to the last name, so Kayla Barrow.
Yeah, well, yeah. I kept my last name.
You're amazing.
Made life easier.
True.
Yeah.
I agree. It's so good to be here.
Yeah, it's really great. And Kayla I've known her for several years now. Mm-hmm. Okay. She used to be into social media and working with people and how to get them involved in social media.
Yep.
But she's moved on. She is very well educated. She has a master's degree.
I do.
Which is a girl, and she's all excited because she was telling me that for her mom's family, she's the first person that even has a degree. So that's really great.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. But Kayla's gone into something that I really believe in, okay? I used to be into antioxidants and alkaline waters, and I know you can buy alkaline water in the stores, and there's so many things that alkaline water is good for, and the emissions in your body. And I didn't stay with that because didn't work for me. But I believe in what the product is.
Amazing. I'm happy to hear that.
And when I first started doing it, you couldn't find alkaline water in the stores.
Definitely a big shift now. I feel like people are more open to the idea, learning more about water, where is their water source coming from. So it's really nice to see that shift because it's the same for me. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years, but 7 years ago, I was just kind of starting to hear about alkaline water and bottled water and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice.
Yeah, but one of the things, when you go to the doctor, they tell you, how much water do you drink?
Always. Well, they should.
Always. I mean, if your doctor
there's a good doctor.
Yeah, even 20 years ago, they were saying, drink more water, okay? You go and you do your blood test. You don't have enough water in your system.
True. You're right, yeah.
They're always telling you to drink more water.
Yeah.
And, so this is a big subject.
Sure.
Okay? And so let's talk about why is water so important for the body?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think especially in the health, fitness, wellness space, it's easy to kind of get lost in the sauce of what's good and things are always changing and food is still important, but I think the shift is because your body is mostly made up of water, not food. So it's not that those things don't matter, they do, but if your body is mostly made up of water, why isn't the conversation starting there? And I am starting to see that shift. So that's why it's important. Your body is mostly made up of water, so why not look into what your water source is first before going all the other routes? And for me, that was the last stop that I made. It's kind of a crazy story, but 7 years ago, I got really sick ever since I was little, my parents always said I just had a sensitive stomach and it was my diet and, oh, it's normal. And I'm, you know, in my 30s, and I definitely still think it was a different time. I definitely did not grow up on healthy food. It was soda and Lunchables and Pop-Tarts, and, you know, it was a big shift with this generation in terms of health. So,
well, that's
you know,
because we have so much, I call it fast foods.
yes.
Fast food industry. It's not only going to a fast food restaurant, it's that you just mentioned the word Pop-Tart. So easy to pop something into the toaster. Doesn't mean it's healthy. It may taste great.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Just because it tastes great doesn't mean it's good for you.
Of course. And, you know, I think with the generation now, I've seen like the younger generation, at least here in our area, they're really looking at labels and paying attention to how they feel. When I was younger, I just thought that being bloated and having acid reflux and being tired at 2 o'clock, I just thought it was normal. But it was the foods that I was eating was contributing to that. So that's what got me into the health and fitness industry to begin with. It ended up being a really big blessing. I just wanted to feel better. I felt like this can't just be it. So I started eating really well, learning about that, started going to the gym, felt a little bit better. But when I was getting my degree, I was also working a full-time job. It was a lot on my plate. So all the symptoms that I was already experiencing got heightened, and they just came to the forefront. So I was leaving on my lunch breaks, which no one knew about this. For 4 months on my lunch breaks, I was going to an urgent care down the street because I was in so much pain. I was so inflamed, and they were just giving me something to numb my stomach and kind of just sending me on my way. So I went down a pattern of, I believe, like over 12 years, just self-medicating to feel good throughout the day. I always had antacids in my purse. I would have to plan to go out with friends, to go out to eat, and it was just a whole thing. So after the urgent care visits, I said, hey, I've been here enough times. You guys are starting to know me now. This is kind of weird. So let's do an endoscopy and see what's really going on before I just keep taking medication. And they said, oh, you have something called GERD, which is just a fancy way for anyone who doesn't know of just saying that you have super high acid reflux. And everybody will experience acid reflux, but over time, as your body gets acidic and we naturally, you know, get older, it turns into GERD. But for me, it just got there way faster. Mine was so bad. So I was taking medicine for that, kind of managing the symptoms, still not feeling great. And then my friend, you know, he's like, hey, I just bought this machine for my mom and you should learn about this and water this and water that. And I'm like, well, I feel like I'm already pretty healthy. I was drinking already a lot of water, but I wasn't knowledgeable about the type of water. And I said, I already tried everything at this point. Go ahead, you know? And so he educated me a little bit and offered me some free samples, and I drank the water for 2 weeks, and I've not had a symptom in 7 years.
Hey.
I'll take it.
Hey.
Yeah, crazy. So, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid is what I like to say, because I never knew this existed, never heard of it before. I'm so grateful that he said something to me.
Well, I know what you're talking about because I heard about it, I gotta go, probably about 17 years ago.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And it was really, it was very awesome. I mean, I heard these miracle stories. Okay?
Totally.
You hear these stories, and I've gone away for it, so from it, I know I need to go back to it.
Yes.
I think it's going to make a major difference for me if I
Here when you're ready, Janice. So how did you hear about it initially?
Sooner than you think. But there's that saying, you are what you eat. And I know there's also, and I can't remember it right off the top of my head, and it's driving me crazy. For the water, I know there's something that they talk about. The water is a way of life. It changes your life.
Oh, change your water, change your life.
Right. Yes.
So simple, it's so true.
And it's so true. Both of them are so true. Kayla was talking about labels earlier, and I had someone on my show about a month ago. Well, that's all we did is talk about labels. So if anybody's watching this wants to hear about details on labels, please go back and look for that show on labels. Yes, it was really great because label reading is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important. So water, I mean, when I go to the doctor, they're always saying, drink more water. And I'm going, I can't drink more water. I mean, I have a cousin who's 82 years old, and her doctor says, drink more water, okay? And when I remember going to Hawaii when I first started. You'll love this story.
Tell me.
One of my nieces was getting married, okay?
Okay.
And so I'm there with my my brother and my cousin, and I make them go to this water company in Honolulu.
Oh, that's amazing.
And we get the jugs of water.
Oh, so cool.
I have them carrying the water down with me because I want my water. Now, again, this is before you saw the alkaline in the store. But the alkaline in the stores is not quite the same thing.
It's not the same thing. And I think now I work with a lot of personal trainers, a lot of people who are already in the health and fitness industry, a lot of people who are already expressing to their clients to drink more water. We always hear that. So now I keep telling people, if someone says drink more water, ask them what kind of water. It's a very big difference because for me, I was drinking bottled water. And to your point, the reason why they're saying drink more, a lot of people spend so much money on trying to absorb the nutrients in their food, trying to absorb the vitamins that they're spending so much money on. It's really not just what you drink, but it's what you're absorbing. So for me, I was drinking so much water and I never felt fully hydrated. So it's the same thing with the doctor. It's like, it's not, penetrating your cells on a cellular level. It's not actually properly hydrating you. So the alkaline water in the store, which I used to do the same thing. It's so funny. I very inconveniently would just fill up so many gallons and kind of have that. And it was very, expensive and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of the alkaline water in the store, it's chemically altered. So just like we know food can be processed or not good for us and all that kind of stuff, it's the same with water. It's an industry. The bottled water industry is huge, and they can chemically alter things to make it appear alkaline, but it's not. It's not real.
And water, if you're not drinking the right water, can also hurt the organs in your body. If you're not drinking that correct water. I know refrigerators now come with filter systems, so everybody has a filter system for the water. But you keep hearing on the news about the different types of waters that are bad for you.
Yeah, because everybody's water source is so different. And it is nice that people are having conversations now about water. So the biggest difference I always tell people is there's a water filter, which gives you cleaner water, but it has no benefit to the body at all. So with the water that we're talking about, it's been around for 50 years. It's a medical device from Japan. It's so hard to compare once you have some more knowledge on it.
Now, I've been away from this industry, so has it become in this country FDA approved?
It's not FDA approved. That's a great question because that's the Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
So food only. So it wouldn't fall under that category, but that is a question that I get often. And I always tell people, do your own research. For me and my personal experience, and no shade to doctors at all, I'm a big believer that there is 100% a place and time for Western medicine. But my doctor was so against this. And I think it's because oftentimes people will hear alkaline water is bad, which is true. If you are drinking chemicals and not true alkalized water, which technically would be what this is, it is harmful for your body because you shouldn't be drinking chemicals and plastics and the microplastics and all that kind of stuff. So, it's just two totally different things.
Yeah, people don't realize the chemicals. When you buy bottled water in the store,
Sure.
what is it in? It's in plastic.
It's in plastic, yep.
Okay?
It's in plastic.
Okay, so what happens with the water that's sitting in the plastic bottle
Yes.
before it's even delivered to the store?
Mm-hmm.
Is it sitting out in the sun?
Probably.
And what happens?
It's not
The
good.
plastic chemicals are going into the water.
That was like me. I used to drink Fiji bottled water. I loved it. And never thought about where it was coming from. And on the label it says bottled in Fiji. And I thought, well, that sounds nice. Fiji's beautiful. And, but I didn't, it's so simple, but I didn't really think about it. It's bottled there. And then it's shipped on a hot plane, hot crate, 14 hours later, it comes here. Stores can keep that in the back for 6 months up to a year sometimes. And then they put it on the shelf where it's cold and we grab it and we think that it's healthy.
But you're also missing the one part, because when they have to transport it in a truck,
Yes.
that is hot.
In the plastic.
In the plastic.
Yes. No good. Well, it's so funny because as a kid, my parents
Right.
would always tell me, oh, if you leave the bottled water in the car and it's too hot, don't drink it. Like a lot of people know that, or maybe some people have had parents that have told them that too. So they're literally doing the same thing. And with this, it's so different because it's so hard to compare the two when it's a water filter, medical device. So yes, it has a filter, but it also provides antioxidants and properties. And that's the magic key of why people like me and other types of people with all different types of things, like I would, never say it's a cure for something, but when we create the right environment for our bodies, it will work for us versus against us. And yes, you can do that with food, but to be totally alkaline with food, it's just, for me, it wasn't a realistic diet. It's like fruit, nuts, seeds, and something else. And I like food, and that just wasn't realistic for me. So, just to put in perspective, it's when you drink 1 cup from the medical device, just 1 cup, it's like drinking 32 cups of fresh pressed blueberries because of the antioxidants and because of the properties. So it really makes sense. And the process is, it's no chemicals, clean. It's the only company that does this type of technology. It's awesome. It's very simple to understand, which is nice, but I think there's a shift happening, which is great. I definitely wish I would have heard about it sooner, but and I still live a healthy, active lifestyle, so I don't take prescription medication anymore. I was taking it for years. I still eat healthy and go to the gym, so it's not like I just drank a cup and everything went away. It took about 2 weeks for me. Everybody's body's different, and the time that it takes to get back to its original state. I always tell people that too, but there's no side effects. Can't hurt you. And it's something you're already doing. Everyone drinks water, and everyone pays for it.
Well, we can't live without water.
You can't live without it.
You can live without food for a period of time. You may not be happy living without the food for that period of time.
No, thank
you. Okay? And don't think we're both thin, that we're not cautious of what we're eating and putting in our bodies.
Totally. Yeah, I still pay attention to food and everything like that.
So, but water, you can't live without the water.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
It should really start there.
And if your body is 80%, I think that's what the
I think it's around 75, 80%. Yeah.
Is water. Why not put the best water in there?
I know. And the thing with this too is, there's a lot of people who they spend a ton of money on really healthy food. Supplements is a huge one.
That's a huge business.
Huge business, which if you have the right water is great because you're actually absorbing all the money that you're spending, which is the point to taking vitamins and supplements. But if somebody is taking vitamins and supplements, even protein powders, things like that, with any other water, you're only absorbing 10%. You're just paying for expensive pee is what I tell people, and that's it. It's just coming right out. But when you take it with the water from the medical device, because it properly hydrates you and penetrates your cells on a cellular level, you're absorbing it. Like 90 to 95%, who doesn't want that? So it just enhances everything that most people are already doing.
And if you don't feel good, why not have the best water that you possibly can have? I know there's times it's not convenient.
Sure.
But if you're creative, you're going to find it in different places.
Yeah.
I found it in Hawaii.
That is the coolest thing. I think a lot of people don't know that this business has been around for 50 years and it's global. It's all over.
So if you do your homework before you go on a trip, no, you're not going to be able to take it on the plane.
Janice, I was going to tell you, so do you know that we travel with ours?
You have something...
We do. So the machine is very small. It's about the size of a cereal box. And water is the biggest component, but it does 100 different things.
Right.
So we cook with it, we clean with it, facial stuff. We have the shower unit. Like, we just invested in all the things. And because it's registered as a medical device in Japan, you can travel with it. And it's the only one. So every time...
So that's new from when I was in the...
It's amazing. So people always kind of... It's funny because we carry around a full gallon. I'll show you guys. I have it. I always have it.
She walked in the house with a full gallon of water.
Yes.
I have to tell you, I'm going to show you that right after our break. We need to take a break hear from our sponsor. We will be right back with you, and we're going to learn more about that. What makes up that 80% of our body.
Awesome.
Okay? Thank you. We'll be right back.
Benefits for you too insurance services. We believe knowledge is power when it comes to selecting the correct healthcare and Medicare insurance. Please contact us at healthcareoptions@benefitsforyou2.com or call us at 310-245-0332.
Back to us Senior Citizens Forum. I'm here with my guest, Kayla Barrow.
Yes.
Okay. And we're talking about what makes up the 80% of our body, and which is water. And it's, I've gone away from the water that she's talking about, and I'm listening to her talk, and I went, oh, I'm being so foolish. Because I know what this water can do.
It's amazing. Yeah, so, we were saying, I was also telling you, so you can travel with it.
Yeah.
If you choose. Otherwise, you can absolutely search and, see who's in your area. But I've had people do that to sample the water. And the biggest thing with the machine, and I get this question all the time, why can't I buy it in the store? Why isn't it bottled? And it's a fair question, and I love this because when I give out the water for free so people can try it, just like my friend did for me. I just love doing it that way. Sometimes people feel something and sometimes they don't, which is why I'm really big on educating people, like, hey, this is exactly what it's doing. Your body's so happy right now. But it's like drinking a green juice. So if you bought a green juice today, would you drink it now or 2 weeks from now? You would drink it right away. So it's the same with the machine. So we pour fresh from the machine every day. But when I give out samples, I won't give out more than 3 gallons at a time because the antioxidants and properties will only last 3 to 4 days. You want it to be fresh. And, I've talked with a lot of businesses and restaurant owners, and they really want to bottle it. And I'm like, integrity wise, I just don't feel good about it. I'm like, no, it has to be fresh. Otherwise, it's just like anything else. It essentially goes bad. That's why people say it's living water. It's fresh. So you can travel with it. You can find it to sample it somewhere. But it's all over the place. It's great. And, oh yeah, let me show you guys my gallon.
There's her gallon.
So normally I have a glass one.
Yeah.
But I don't trust myself.
Well,
sometimes.
This is the kind of, with the PDF?
Yes.
DBF? Yeah.
So I'll change it out every so often. It doesn't sit in the heat or anything like that. But, it's like already almost gone. But I will easily drink a gallon a day. It's a good way for me to track.
But I know, talking about how much water you're supposed to drink a day, okay?
Yes.
So I know you see people walking, I'm going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
But you see people walking around all the time now with some form of a water bottle. Mm-hmm. And some water bottles make statements.
Yes. That's a nice way of putting it. Yes.
Yes, they make a statement, okay?
The conversation started.
My grandchildren know all that stuff.
That's great.
They know what water bottle you should have, okay?
Okay.
So, and you have to fill that water bottle up all the time.
Exactly.
So why not fill that water bottle up with this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and most of the water bottles that are out now are like stainless steel. They're protective.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting that plastic that you get, which is so bad for you.
Sure,
which we talked about in the first beginning. So if you're already walking around with one of those classy water bottles, or even a non-classy one, okay, okay.
A gallon like me.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren, who works for me, she has a water bottle that looks like a cow.
Oh, that's so fun.
And it's a gallon.
Okay, I'll have to ask her. I've seen a lot of sleeves and a lot of really cool
things.
things.
It's a little heavy to walk around with.
Yeah.
But you can buy, water, these different water bottles in different sizes and stuff.
Yes. Well, it's so funny. That's what I tell people. I think with this business and this product, it's very organic and easy to talk about because it's not a new concept. When people get into their health and they're like, I don't feel good and I should start here and do this test and this food, you can go down a rabbit hole of things, which is fine, educate yourself, but why not switch out something you're already doing no matter what?
Right.
I know.
It's changing your water is a lot easier than becoming a vegan or a vegetarian.
That's what I'm saying. Do whatever works for your body. Everybody's body is different, but no matter what, something that unites every single person everywhere across the world is water. No matter what you do for your health, you're going to keep drinking water every day no matter what, and everybody's spending money on it. And I have had, there's so many different things out there, and I have had certain people who will buy some kind of like water filtration system, which is totally different. No benefit to the body at all. It just makes people feel better because it's a cleaner option. But then the second that they go out, they're buying bottled water at a 7-Eleven or a Target or whatever it is. So I think with this, it's easy to be consistent when you really understand what it is doing to your body from the inside out. It is, I don't want to drink anything. I haven't drinking anything else, any other water in 7 years. And when I go through the airport, this happened to us a couple weeks ago. The guy was like, well, we have some water that you could buy when you get in. And I said, yes, I totally understand. I said, but for me, this works. It replaced all prescription medication for me. I don't take any more medicine. And I just feel so good, and this is medical grade water that I need for my health. And he was just blown away. 7 years, I said, yeah, time flies. And I never thought that being in my 30s, I would feel better than I did in my 20s. It's just, with age comes wisdom, right, Janice? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I went back on the water.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back on the water.
Amazing.
Okay. It's not just water. Not all water is equal.
True.
Okay? It's just like cars are not equal.
Exactly. What did you compare it to? You said it's like comparing a Toyota to a Ferrari?
Ferrari.
Or
Absolutely.
Something. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll take it.
It's
true. It's true.
It's not, no insult to,
Sure. Yeah.
to the other. But there are different water companies out there, and I'm not talking about what you're buying in the store or the machine in the store. I'm talking you walk by their stores, they'll call themselves water stores. Mm-hmm. Go in and look at what they have.
Sure.
Okay? And read up on what they're selling you. We'll research what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you'll find out. And of course, I'll tell you how to get a hold of us because that's the most important thing. But I really believe the product she has is important. And just like Kayla said a few minutes ago, she said she feels better now in her 30s.
Oh, yeah.
But just think how much better she's going to be when she gets to be my age.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And I'm getting close to 80.
You're amazing, Janice. That's awesome. So cool.
Okay.
And I think when you get older too, I'm always curious what gets people to care about their health. Because for me, I had to get sick first. And I know for a lot of people that is the case. So that's why it's so important for me to get out there and talk about this. Because if my friend felt weird sharing this with me or kept it to himself, like I don't even know the person I would be today. But when you're sick, you will spend, I don't care what it is, you will spend whatever to just not feel awful anymore. Because if you don't have your health, what else do you have? You can't be present for your family and your friends, and you don't feel good. And
If
so
you don't feel good, you're not participating in life.
You're just like, exactly, you're just floating through the day.
Yeah.
And thinking it's normal, and it's very blah, and it's sad. And I think a lot of people are walking around every day thinking that it's normal, and I've totally been there, and it's not normal. There's a better way. It's a better, easier way with something that everybody's already doing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come back because it's time for us to hear from Arash, who happens to be a good friend of hers.
Yes.
Okay. Totally. But Arash and I are gonna talk about how to beat scammers and hackers, and we'll take it away, Arash.
Did you have a great week, Arash?
I had a great week. Thank you, Janice. Very glad to be here. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely day.
Lovely day, yeah. All right, but what words of wisdom do you have for our protection for this week?
Be happy and do not be worried. Okay. So no, but we talked about.
Well, I think that's a good way to start.
Exactly.
Don't be worried.
Don't panic.
Be worried. It's protecting yourself.
I tell everyone, do not panic. This is temporary. Anything happen, it has a solution. So that's the first step. But last week we talked about authenticators, the password authenticator, also authenticator app. So I want to briefly refresh the memory for those what we talked about. So authenticator, we talked about in 2 sessions. Very important to set it up for any important, for almost anything, emails, bank accounts, and all those. And the new way of using it, instead of getting a text message or email, is Authenticator app that we talked about at last time.
Right.
Authenticator apps are any websites that you go in, like your bank account, Chase, Bank of America, your email, Yahoo, Gmail, or anything else, Microsoft. It will ask you for a code. Once you put your password, your complicated password you typed in, you click next, it asks you for a code. That code will be generated on your Authenticator app, and it will be refreshed every 30 seconds. We talked about the newer apps, or for the Microsoft, for example, technique is when you log into the email, once you put your password, click next, it will tell you what number, it gives you a number, random number, right? 96. You go to your app and you have to type 96. Once you click OK, it asks you to approve it with Face ID or type the password. Once you approve that, it will let you continue on your browser, on your computer. So
But
2 different.
But what I liked about what you said before on a previous show is that you talked about how those numbers are constantly changing.
Every 30 seconds, so those are random numbers generated.
Yeah.
And usually there's 6-digit numbers. Either on the phone they give it to you or so. So far we had this. Remember we talked about social media as well?
Yes, we did.
We said we're going to continue, so that's the time. Nowadays, many people using social media. Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, many different ones. And there were, the article I was reading, around 3 billion users Facebook has now. So Facebook by far is number 1 still. Instagram, I think, is number 2. I'm not sure about number 2, 3, but Facebook was number 1 by far.
Okay.
So, and most of us, we talked about it last time too. We use lots of information in our social media. To be honest, I don't want to use it much because I don't want people and machines learn. Now I'm not worried about people anymore. Machines learn about me. Now, when I travel...
So you're talking about machines, you're talking about...
I'll talk about machines too. That's very interesting.
Right,
so,
yeah.
About
We'll
machines.
go back in another segment.
Another segment, then what does machines do? AI.
Yeah. Right.
When we say machines, it's AI.
But I notice people put on oh, I'm on vacation in
I'm on vacation in
in
Italy,
the Antarctica.
Colosseum.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have
Rome.
friends that post all of this
All
stuff
the
all the
time.
time. Yeah.
Very important you brought up. I'm going to put a parenthesis to mention.
Yeah.
A cop told us, actually, we were in a meeting in a cybersecurity, never share your location, because people will know. I mean, the thief or whoever wants to steal, they know you're not home. Technically, I'm at the airport right now, so they know. Okay, so no one is this home. Perfect. So it's time to go there. So technically, do not share those information a lot, because it's not a very good information to be public. But now we talked about social media. Many people like it. I like it, but for certain things. Now, how can I make it more secure? You definitely need the very complicated password for social media as well. Same concept that we talked about, different things. Also, you definitely need multi-factor authentication for your social media.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yep.
didn't know you could do that. Okay.
Definitely, all of them has the option now. And my Facebook, Instagram, anything I have, they have multi-factor. And very important, and I will tell you why in the next next session that we have.
Okay.
Because it's important to keep your information secure.
It is, and I see a lot of people on social media post a lot of personal stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because I know you talked about going on vacation. Lots of times when I go on vacation, I have someone staying at my home, and that they could be putting those people in danger.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very scary, even if you have, security set up.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next session we'll continue with more with social media.
Okay. Well, you have a good week.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Wish you
And
all the
I
best.
look forward
See
to
you soon.
coming back and talking more about social media
Thank
next
you.
week. Thank you.
Arash always has great words to say about scamming and hacking, and one of the things I always want to say, do not ever give out your social security number to anyone that calls you on the phone. The IRS, Social Security, Medicare, they're not going to call you.
Yeah.
I mean, so please don't do that. And again, thank you, Arash. Okay.
Amazing.
So I'm back with Kayla. We're going to go back and talk about water some more.
I love it.
We're going to finish up. Obviously, you can tell we're both real excited about the water. Okay, which is without water we don't have life.
Yeah, and I always tell people who may be watching or who may be skeptical, for one, that was me, big time, and I needed it, and I was just kind of like, well, I don't really know what this is, but you can send me some information. I'm open to learning about it, and I'm so glad that I did, because information is free, and this is just water. It doesn't harm you in any possible way. It couldn't hurt. So I always tell people, just look into it.
Well, I think now when you go and do your blood test with your doctor, now I'm older and they come back with stuff. Well, you're low in iodine.
Okay.
You don't have enough iodine in your system. You don't have enough this. Well, some of this stuff can be found in water. You don't have to take that supplement or that pill.
Yes.
You can find it in your water. And because this is a medically grade machine that we're talking about, okay, it's going to have some of those things. And what's the popular one? You don't have enough magnesium in your body.
There's so many things. And I think too, that's why people rush to supplements. But even then, if you're not drinking the right water with those supplements, you're not really absorbing it. I mean, 10% to 90 to 95%, it's a big jump. So that's why, mixing this with all the other health things, like now we're absorbing those nutrients, the vitamins, the protein, everything that everybody could want. I feel like people just aren't really absorbing it, and it's not penetrating their cells on a cellular level. Like with the water, it's also a little bit of a detox, flushes things out that aren't supposed to be there. Like I always say I love to help my friends be regular.
That is hysterical.
You know, a little TMI, but that, you know, when people try the water, I think that is probably the biggest thing that people will say is, I don't feel bloated, I can drink a lot of it and I feel great, I have more energy, better sleep, no headaches, and I'm, you know, it's not like you're there all day uncomfortable, but, you know, I have some people who are like, oh my gosh, it's been, you know, 2-3 days. I'm like, no, that's uncomfortable. And also, that's not normal.
Yeah, and for seniors, not sleeping well is a very common problem.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And being regular can be a common problem.
It's a common problem. It's a common problem. And I think people just, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to share it with people. It's nice to hear the positive feedback from people on how they feel. And it's cool.
So one of the things that, yes, there's a cost to the machine. And
of course.
I know they have different levels of machines. Okay?
Yes.
All right. I can't give you those prices, but you can find them, or you're going to be able to contact Kayla. But one of the things is, when you're looking at them, these machines are just like we were talking about before, the Ford to the Ferrari, okay?
For sure.
There are machines out there that they say they do what Kayla's machine, I'm going to call it Kayla's
sure,
machine.
Yeah.
Right. Says it's going to do, but they don't.
There's always knockoffs of everything, and I always tell people it really is the inside of what matters. It's not worth it to go a little bit cheaper, to have to just get something later. Like this machine, it has 8 medical grade titanium plates in the machine. It's patented, so no one else has it, which it doesn't rust. So I've heard of people, I know people who will buy something off of Amazon or whatever, and they've gotten metal poisoning. It's really scary when you know all the different things that the machine does. It actually, if somebody doesn't have the machine, they're losing money. I haven't bought bottled water in 7 years. I haven't bought cleaner. I haven't bought veggie wash. I haven't bought facial toner. You know, we cook with it, we clean with it. It does so many different things. We travel with it. So just even health aside, you know, a lot of people don't know about the payment options. A lot of people don't know that it's a tax write-off. A lot, you know, it's just, there's so many things that it's just, when you have the numbers, it's a no-brainer. I mean, for me, I just did the math on everything. I'm like, well, shoot, I'm going to spend this in 2 years anyway. And the oldest machine is 50 years old now.
Yeah.
So I won't have to buy any of those things for 50 years. Great. Sign me up.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Well, I know I went online.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their website in ages.
Yeah.
And I think the machines look a little different.
Sure. Like there's newer models now.
About 20 years ago. Because there's newer models.
Newer
and they
models.
have to say, you know, electronics change so quickly.
Sure.
So, but you go in there and you look at it. It's
easy. It's small for everything that it does. It's very easy. It's just touch screen. Boop, you touch a button and you know, you get what you need. So it's very user friendly. I'm not good with technology stuff by any means. So I always tell people, if I could do it, you know, it's a no-brainer. You just touch a button, and you just need a faucet to install it, which a lot of other people love, because if you were to purchase a whole house filtration type of thing, you can't move with that. Yeah. You know, you have to buy it all over again.
So if you're spending a lot of money on medications, I'm not going to tell you to go off the medication. That's between you and your doctor. But why not try the water and see at some point in time, you see those blood results change. Maybe you don't have to take some of that expensive medication any
longer. That would be awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've seen this help so many people in the last 7 years from all different types of health issues, and you know, even people who don't have any health issues at all, when they see the information, they're like, okay, this is good for my body, it's saving me money, I don't have to keep rebuying it, I can move with it, I can travel with it. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
It's definitely a lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah. And she said something earlier, I don't know if you caught it. She said something about facial water.
Oh yeah, the
Yes,
beauty
you did.
spray.
The beauty
I love
spray.
that stuff. The beauty spray. It's a
So you
separate
know when
setting.
ladies, you go to the store and you're
Yeah.
buying the facial water to cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the facial water. It did when I bought it 17
Yeah.
years ago. It's there.
It's
It
there.
has other things in it that's good for you. Not only is this water good for you, if you're an animal lover, I know you like animals.
Yes. I
It's
have a
also
dog.
good for your animals.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've had people purchase the machine off that alone for their pets
For the pets.
who are
Yes.
sick. My dog Cash, he's super healthy and he's 11. I can't believe he's gonna be 11. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So he drinks the water. Yeah, I mean plants. I've worked with so many different type of businesses now, from personal trainers and gym owners to friends who are in the wedding industry. I have a girlfriend of mine who uses it for her flowers. She does
Okay.
floral, and they last longer. So many different ways to use it. And so with the beauty spray also, it firms, tones, and tightens the skin without chemicals.
Yeah.
So who
And
doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many other uses
So many, yeah.
that you can use with this water.
Yeah, the pesticide removal tends to be a really big one for people. I think when they see, that's really been just a really crazy thing. I was spending a lot of money on veggie wash, and I know there's different cleaners out there, but with this, you just press the button on the machine and it takes it right off. A lot of people are using tap water. I know my parents did that growing up, but the pesticides they're oil based. So it's, sometimes
Right.
when you buy an apple and it's really slimy and it's, it looks beautiful in the store, but that's not organic. If we really had all organic things, I don't know if we would like it. It's not appealing. It's not appealing, so people don't want to buy it. So it's a business, it's an industry, but then unfortunately you eat that. So when I do demos for people, it might not seem like a lot, but the little daily things that we do over time, it really adds up, and they see what comes off and they're like, oh my gosh, I would never drink that. I'm like, well, but this is what you're eating so far.
So do you still do the demonstration? Because I know when
Yeah.
I was in this business,
Mhm.
where you take water, a regular glass of water,
Yes.
and you boil the water
Uh-huh.
for a tea. You take a tea bag,
Yes.
and then you put it in the
Yep.
same tea bag.
Same ea bag. So
Yeah, back and
normally
forth.
people have to heat up a tea bag to get the tea. But with this water, you don't have to heat up the water.
water.
Because the water molecules are smaller, it's able to penetrate the tea bag and pull out the tea.
Yeah.
So that's a really good representation for people to see of this is what it's doing in your body. It's a detox, it's penetrating your cells, you're getting all the nutrients, the supplements. Yeah, we do still do that. It's very cool.
It's
Yeah.
very cool.
We
I
do
have-
demonstrations, yeah. So if anyone, every Thursday, for the most part, every Thursday, I'll go to one in Fountain Valley.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to contact me and you're in the Orange County area and come
Well,
with me, so
well,
fun.
You're leading us in. I mean, we can go on for another
Yes.
20 minutes or longer and talk about this, but we're running out of time.
This was so fun,
This
Janice.
has
Thanks
been
for
a-
talking about water with
A
me.
lot
I
of
love
fun.
it.
And you're telling me all the stuff that I haven't thought about in
A long time.
6 or 7 years, and I'm going, what have I done? Okay. All right. I know better than what I've done. Okay. And you're going to have information, as always, and how to contact Kayla, my guest, or how to contact me. And I know definitely how to get a hold of Kayla, like I do all my guests. I know how to get a
Yes,
hold
you're
of
so
them.
sweet.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you learned a lot about water, and you all have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.